Hello, welcome back to It's What I Do. Today I want to try and fit an auto feeder onto the pond. Now I've never done one before, purely because of the distance from wherever I could mount it to the pond. If I spin you around and show you, 1 second. Right, if you can see there that I've got the feeding ring, and ideally that's where I want any food to go so that the fish always know where to go, and it also holds it away from the skimmer for a little period of time. So that's where I want it to go, but the problem is where I've got an in-ground pond, you've got quite a distance between where I can mount it. So what I'm going to do is put a platform across from here out and then mount the auto feeder onto that. That's the idea anyhow. So let's have a look at the auto feeder first. It's sitting there. I haven't unboxed it yet, so I'm going to unwrap that and have a look and show you what one it is. So back in a second. So that's my feeder. It's the Superfish Fish Feeder Koi Pro, and this one I actually saw first off on Kev from Dorset Poise channel. So shout out to Kev, Dorset Koi, and that's what I'm going to try and fit. So I'll unbox it, have a look, see what's inside it, take some measurements up and see what I've got to do. Okay, so what we've got in here, we've got an instruction manual. Very hard to get it out one-handed. Excuse me just a moment. So we've got the feeder itself. Attached to the feeder is a control unit. It's got quite a long wire on that, which is good. And then we've got the mounting bracket. Alright, I'll put you down for a second and have a look, see what I've got to do. Okay, distance from the arch to where I need the centre of the feeder to be is 34 inches. The arm that the feeder sits on, from the end of the bracket to the centre of the hole where the feeder sits, is 15 inches. So I need to make a bracket that's going to extend it out by about 2 foot, something like that. It's going to have to be a little bit longer than that, because obviously you need enough room to actually mount the bracket onto it and support it. So probably going to have to be about say 26-28 inches, something like that. So I need to go and find a piece of wood that's wide enough and see what I can make. Back in a minute. The only piece of wood I can find that's probably going to be the right size, is slightly narrower but it should be wide enough to fit it, is a piece of cherry, which is way overkill for this job. Doesn't need to be anything nowhere near as expensive as that. But it's what I've got, so I'm going to use it. It's been sitting in the shed for absolutely ages, so I'm going to use that and make a frame. So I'll get on with that and I'll show you when I'm done. I'll give you a quick view of what we've done so far. I've cut 2 pieces of cherry and I've made them into like a T. This end will mount against the arch, and then I'm going to put a little bracket down that end to support it against the pond. Excuse the cigarette in my hand. So yeah, that's where we are at the moment, and then obviously I've got to paint it. But I want to set it up first and make sure it's right before I paint it, so I'm going to do that, and if I do a bit more, come back to you. Okay, so we've got the feeder fitted. I just need to tidy up a little bit with the cable. Just spin you around and show you. There you go, that's the feeder. It's all fitted there. The wire runs down here, along there, and then round the back of all this, and then underneath the upflow shed. And then we come into here. We've got the control unit there. The power supply for that comes down here and comes out there. That hole is drilled at an angle, so it shouldn't have any water go into it. Round here, and I didn't have a junction box, but I did have this little cheap outdoor socket. So what I've done is I've powered it into there, and I've powered it, used it like a junction box, but I've also now got the bonus of having a socket there as well. They're not very good, these sockets, but it will do for now. What I'll probably do later on is actually get a better one on there. So yeah, that's all done. So it's all up and working. I just now need to set this. I'm not sure if I can remember how to do this. Oh, there we go. So we're 1658. So 1658. Not sure if that's worked or not. Yes, it has. There you go. 1658. So that's the first feed is on 9 o'clock on there on level 1. Second feed's off. So it's only the first feed on there. So I'll set them up. What I'm thinking of doing is set the first feed up for 7 o'clock in the morning. Maybe the second feed about 10 o'clock, maybe half 10, something like that. And then I'll do a manual feed lunchtime, which is when I normally get up. As you know, I work late some nights and whatnot, so yeah, I don't normally get up until about lunchtime. And then I'll do another one probably about 3 o'clock, and then 6, and last one maybe at 9, and we'll see how that goes. I'm going to put him on the minimum feed just to see what it does. I can always up that later if I need to. So yeah, I'm quite pleased with that. Quite good. It's all nice and level. Is a little bit big on the pond, but if it works, all the good. All the good. So yeah, let's get some food in there and we'll see what happens. See what the feed is like. Okay, we're set to go off in about 1 minute. So it'll be interesting to see exactly how that goes off. Might be a little bit less than 1 minute now. You can see they're coming up and eating the food that's gone in there anyhow, so that's good. It'll take them a little bit of time to get used to it. They're probably very nervous with it overhanging the pond like that. Not had something like that before, so hopefully it'll go off any minute now. There we go. Starting to feed. It's very quiet. I'm really impressed with that. It's very quiet. Yeah, it's very good. Very pleased with that. That's, as I say, that's on level 1. We can always try it later on and see whether it's any better on level 2 or any more food. I don't think they really need much more than that. If you're going to break it up into so many portions of the day, I think they'll manage with that quite well. Well, I'm very pleased with that. Should work exactly how I want. Holds quite a lot of food. There's probably a week's worth of food in there from what I normally feed them. Obviously feeding them more often it's going to go down a bit quicker, but yeah, it's quite good. So I've got to tidy up and I'll monitor it, see how it gets on, and I'll report back to you once it's been running for a little while. Let you know what it's like. But yeah, quite pleased with that. A little bit disappointing that you've got to have the controller in a cupboard. You'd have thought as something like that they'd have made it waterproof so that you could have it outside, but hey ho, is what it is. And if that's the only criticism I've got of it, then that really ain't going to be bad. So yeah, quite pleased with that. Right, I'll leave it there. Hope you enjoyed that, hope you found it useful, and I will catch you later. Bye for now.